Have you ever wondered if it's better to be feared than loved? Does the end always justify the means when it comes to leadership? And what role does morality truly play in acquiring and maintaining power? Today, we're delving into the complicated world of Niccolo Machiavelli, and we'll be exploring his philosophy on power through the lens of design. Machiavelli, a Florentine diplomat and a political theorist, offered a brutally pragmatic view on leadership in his most famous work, The Prince. He argued that a ruler must be willing to do whatever is necessary to maintain control and ensure the stability of the state, even if it means resorting to deception, manipulation, or cruelty. For Machiavelli, the pursuit of power was more about effectiveness than it was about maintaining an image of generosity. Our designs today aims to visually represent attitudes around power. You'll notice dark gray strands emerging in the background. These represent the unseen forces, the external pressures, the unwilling participants, and the constant threats that a ruler must be aware of and defend against, particularly those being onlookers who yearn for power. They are less defined than the eternal strands because they represent the more abstract, external challenges to power. They are often motivated by a state of powerlessness represented by the abyss below. The focal point of the design is a light gray orb radiating a subtle white glow. This orb represents the state of power itself. The light gray signifies the often neutral or even ambiguous nature to power. It's not inherently good or evil, but a tool. The white glow is the allure of power, the influence and authority that draws in individuals to seek it. The orb is quickly accompanied by chaotic red and green strands that begin to wrap around and overlap each other throughout the orb. These strands are crucial to our representation of Machiavelli's philosophy. The red strands symbolize the ruthlessness, the aggression, and the violence that Machiavelli suggested a ruler might need to employ. It's the fox and the lion dynamic, the cunning and the force required to navigate political landscapes. The green strands, in contrast, represent their strategic thinking, the adaptability, and the sometimes polite, respectful nature of power. Machiavelli emphasized that a ruler must be able to adapt their tactics to the situation at hand, to be both feared and loved. But if one must choose, fear is more reliable. These strands are chaotic, overlapping, and entangled because the path to power and its maintenance is rarely clean or straightforward. It's a messy, often contradictory process. It's baffling to think that, despite being centuries old, Machiavelli's ideas still resonate in modern politics and business. He insisted on providing people with the uncommon knowledge regarding power, offering a realistic assessment of what it takes to survive and thrive in a world driven by self-interest and competition. It's a tough pill to swallow, this idea that sometimes morality is often overlooked for the sake of personal gain. But can we honestly say that this isn't how the world often operates? Machiavelli forced people to confront the uncomfortable truth that leaders aren't always paragons of virtue, and sometimes the decisions that lead to stability and prosperity are not the most ethically pure. Think about the tough decisions leaders have to make in times of crisis. Decisions that might save many but harm a few. Machiavelli would argue that the effectiveness of the outcome outweighs the moral violations. However, it's also important to acknowledge the criticisms of Machiavelli. His philosophy can be seen as a justification for authoritarianism and a dismissal of human rights. It raises questions about the long-term consequences of a leadership style devoid of ethical considerations. Can a state truly flourish if its foundation is built on fear and deception? Or does such a foundation eventually crumble under its own weight? Well, more often than not, it results in a shaky foundation that rarely lasts, as the weight is turned against the offender. The way I see it, it's important for leaders to strike a balance between gentle kindness and ruthless force. It's easy to lean too far to one side or the other. However, in the game of power, both sides play an important role. One pleases those who wish to uplift a leader of good character and virtue. The other is a defense mechanism against those who are seeking personal glory at any cost, actively seeking easy pushovers. Although acquiring and maintaining power is never easy, straightforward, or even fair. So, in the relentless pursuit of power, where would you draw the line? If you enjoyed this exploration of design and philosophy, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments below what other philosophical concepts you would like to see translated into design. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay mindful, stay creative.